Hi students, hi everyone. Welcome to 12th Science Group. मार्च पासून आतापर्यंत आपण कोणी एकमेकांच्या समोर कॉन्टॅक्टमध्ये आलेलं नाही आहे. त्याचं कारण आपल्याला माहिती आहे, लॉकडाऊन चालू आहे आणि दरवर्षीप्रमाणे सुरू होणारा 1 एप्रिलपासून सुरू होणारा आपला 12वीचा वर्ग तोही सध्या बंद आहे. तरी शासनाच्या आदेशानुसार आपण आत्ता थोडंसं काही तुम्हाला देण्याचा प्रयत्न सुरू करतोय व्हॉट्सअप ग्रुपच्या आधारे. आपण गेल्या वर्षी फिजिक्समध्ये एकूण 14 टॉपिक्स अभ्यासलेले आहेत. त्या टॉपिक्समध्ये बरेचसे टॉपिक आपल्याला 12वीला उपयोगी पडणारे आहेत. तर यावर्षीच्या सिलेबसमध्ये देखील एकूण 14 टॉपिक्स आहेत. या 14 टॉपिकमधले बरेचसे टॉपिक तुमच्यासाठी अननोन असतील आणि बरेचसे टॉपिक 11वीवरती आधारित असतील. तर त्यातला पहिला जो टॉपिक आहे रोटेशनल डायनॅमिक्स, तो टॉपिक 11वीतला काही भाग आपण शिकलेला आहात, त्याच्यावरती थोडासा त्याचा बेस त्याच्यावरती आधारित आहे. 11वीमध्ये मोशन इन प्लेन, न्यूटन्स लॉज हा जो भाग आपण शिकला, याचा थोडासा बेस घेऊन आपण रोटेशनल डायनॅमिक्स हा 12वीचा नवीन टॉपिक सुरू करणार आहोत. 11वीमध्ये आपण मोशन इन प्लेन हा टॉपिक शिकताना काही फिजिकल क्वांटिटीचा अभ्यास केलेला आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये पहिली फिजिकल क्वांटिटी जी महत्त्वाची असेल ती डिस्प्लेसमेंट, त्याच्यानंतर आहे व्हेलॉसिटी. त्याच्यात काही प्रकार येतील: ॲव्हरेज व्हेलॉसिटी, इन्स्टंटेनियस व्हेलॉसिटी, ॲव्हरेज स्पीड, इन्स्टंटेनियस स्पीड, ॲव्हरेज ॲक्सलरेशन आणि इन्स्टंटेनियस ॲक्सलरेशन असे काही टर्म्स आपण 11वीत शिकलेले आहात. त्यालाच बरोबर पॅरलल टर्म्स या रोटेशनल डायनॅमिक्समध्ये पण आहेत. आणि आपण 11वीच्याच त्याच टॉपिकच्या शेवटी सर्क्युलर मोशन हा भाग थोडासा घेतलेला आहे. त्याच्यामध्ये अँग्युलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट असेल, अँग्युलर व्हेलॉसिटी असेल आणि अँग्युलर ॲक्सलरेशन असेल. या टर्म्स आणि लिनियर टर्म्स म्हणजे डिस्प्लेसमेंट, अँग्युलर डिस्प्लेसमेंट, व्हेलॉसिटी, अँग्युलर व्हेलॉसिटी, ॲक्सलरेशन आणि अँग्युलर ॲक्सलरेशन ह्या टर्म्स पॅरलल आहेत. त्यामुळे आपल्याला पहिल्यांदा लिनियर टर्म्स माहीत असतील तर त्याचं कंपॅरिझन आपण अँग्युलर टर्म्सशी डेफिनेटली करू शकतो. तर त्यासाठी पहिली टर्म असेल डिस्प्लेसमेंट. आपल्याला माहिती आहे, when any object moves from one point to another point, one position to another position in a given time, then the distance covered by that object or the path length of the object from one position to another position in given time and in given direction is called as the displacement of object in that time. This is the first term, that is the displacement. If its initial position is x1, final position is x2, then displacement of object will be given as dx is equal to x2 minus x1. Likewise, this displacement is measured in terms of meter and the dimensions of the displacement are 1 in length, 0 in mass and 0 in time, we know. Then displacement is a vector quantity. It has a direction, but the magnitude of displacement is called the distance, or simply it is called the path length, we know. Now the second term is the velocity. The velocity is nothing but the displacement of the object in a unit time, or the distance covered by the object per unit time is called as the displacement. It's called as the velocity. This velocity can be measured in terms of, that is SI unit of this velocity is meter per second, and its dimensions are 1 in length, 0 in mass and -1 in time. So these are the terms, first two terms, and the third term is the acceleration. We know the acceleration is the term which is related with the Newton's first law. Whenever there is a change, we know the first law, every inanimate body continues in its state of rest or state of uniform motion unless it is acted upon by an external unbalanced force. This law shows that whenever force is acting on the body, the velocity of the body changes, and whenever there is a change in velocity, the acceleration is produced in that body. So the acceleration is nothing but the rate of change of velocity of object with respect to time, or the velocity per unit time is also called as the acceleration. The SI unit of acceleration is meter per second square, and dimensions of acceleration are 1 in length, 0 in mass, minus 2 in time. So these are the three terms, that is linear displacement, linear velocity and linear acceleration. There are also velocity and acceleration called as instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. Their values, average velocity or average acceleration, which are expressed in terms of limit. That is, the limiting values of average velocity and average acceleration are called as the instantaneous velocity and instantaneous acceleration. If the average velocity is given by v is equal to dx by dt, then instantaneous velocity is given by v is equal to limit of delta x upon delta t as delta t tends to 0. In the similar way, the instantaneous acceleration is also given by a equal to limit of delta v upon delta t as delta t tends to 0. So these are the terms which we have studied in the 11th science, as well as in the same 11th science we have studied the circular motion. We know the circular motion is the two-dimensional motion. First of all, it is two-dimensional motion because the object moves along the circle, and circle is the plane body, that is two-dimensional body. Therefore, circular motion is the two-dimensional motion. Now, when any object moves along the circular path, curved path, then the motion of object is called a circular motion. When object revolves in the circular path, it has a velocity, it has a displacement, it has an acceleration. The velocity of object is directed along the tangent, and therefore it is called as a tangential velocity. Direction of this velocity continuously changes along its path. Therefore, as the velocity changes, for the change in this velocity, according to first law again, for the change in direction of this velocity, the force must be necessary. So that force, we will call it as a centripetal force later on, but the velocity, it means that in this circular motion, there we have to define angular displacement, angular velocity and angular acceleration along with displacement, velocity and acceleration. That is, we have to compare linear quantity and angular quantity. We have already defined the displacement, that is the distance covered by the object in given time. In the similar way, angular displacement is defined as the angle covered by the radius vector in given time along the radius is called as by the radius along the circle is called as the angular displacement of object in that time. It is given by, if object moves from say point A to point B along the circle and the radius vector is rotated to an angle theta or say delta theta, then angular displacement delta theta is given by angular displacement delta theta is equal to arc length AB divided by the radius of that circle. So delta theta is equal to arc AB upon R, that is the radius. If this arc is very small, then it will be straight line, and this straight line will be considered as a linear displacement, and therefore delta theta is equal to delta x upon R or delta s upon R. This is the final formula for the angular displacement. Angular displacement is the quantity which has the SI unit radian. We know the angle is always measured in terms of degree, but the SI unit of this angle, it is a plane angle, therefore its SI unit is a radian, and it has no dimension. This is a physical quantity which has a unit but no dimensions, so it is a dimensionless quantity. If we have to write the dimensions, we can write it as 0 in length, 0 in mass and 0 in time. So this is the first quantity. Then second one, the angular velocity. We know we have defined the linear velocity, that is the rate of change of displacement with respect to time. In the similar way, angular velocity is also defined as the rate of change of angular displacement with respect to time, or in other words, it can be defined as the angle covered by the radius vector per unit time, and it is given by omega. It is denoted by omega. Therefore, omega, angular velocity of object, is given by omega is equal to d theta upon dt, or simply theta upon t. And by this relation, we can write the SI unit of angular displacement as a radian per second, because displacement, angular displacement upon time, angular displacement is measured in terms of radian, time is measured in terms of radian. Therefore, angular velocity is measured in terms of radian per second. That is, the SI unit of angular velocity is radian per second. Dimensions of this angular velocity are dimensions of angular velocity are 0 in length, 0 in mass and -1 in time. And and we know these dimensions of angular velocity are exactly similar to that of another term called as the frequency. So frequency and angular velocity have the same dimensions, or these two quantities are dimensionally same, we can see. The third term is the angular acceleration. We know the acceleration will be produced by the object when its velocity changes, or acceleration will be produced when there is a change in velocity. In the similar way, angular acceleration will be produced when angular velocity changes. So angular acceleration is defined as the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time, or angular velocity per unit time, we may call it as. So angular acceleration is defined as the rate of change of angular velocity with respect to time. It is given as alpha is equal to d omega upon dt. It is also defined as, or else it is also calculated as alpha is equal to omega 2 minus omega 1, that is d omega. So change in angular velocity omega 2 minus omega 1 divided by t. This relation is exactly similar to the linear acceleration, that is a is equal to v minus u upon t. So these two relations are equivalent in translation motion and in circular motion, in linear motion and in circular motion. So angular acceleration is given as d omega by dt, or omega 2 minus omega 1 upon t. This omega can be expressed later on in frequency, and this relation can be written as alpha is equal to 2 pi into bracket n2 minus n1 divided by t. So this is the formula for angular acceleration. We can calculate the angular acceleration by using this relation. Now, according to this relation, by this formula, the SI unit of this angular acceleration is radian per second square, and dimensions of this angular acceleration are 0 in mass, 0 in length, minus 2 in time. So these are the dimensions of acceleration, angular acceleration. In this conversation, I have explained linear displacement, angular displacement, linear velocity, angular velocity, linear acceleration, angular acceleration. We know linear displacement is expressed in meter, angular displacement is expressed in radian. Linear velocity is expressed in meter per second, while angular velocity is expressed in radian per second. Linear acceleration is expressed in meter per second square, and angular acceleration is expressed in radian per second square. And therefore we can compare these. In this translation or linear motion, quantities are expressed in meter, while in circular motion these quantities are expressed in angle, that is radian. Therefore these quantities are called as angular quantities. And this is the introduction to this topic. Now I will stop here. Stay home, stay safe.